All right, let me just say this, as clearly and as calmly as I possibly can. Creation is not our mate. It's not some casual thing we can just brush off, you know? It's not something you can just explain away like it was some small random experiment that just happened to work out. Think about it this way. Anything in our world that is complex and ordered requires intelligence. It's just common sense, right? If you see a phone lying on a table, nobody in their right mind says, "Oh, look, a bunch of sand, metal, and plastic just randomly crashed into each other over millions of years and formed this iPhone." No, you know someone designed it. If you see a car driving down the street, nobody says, "Wow, the parts must have assembled themselves in the factory." Of course not. And when you look at something as tiny and intricate as a computer chip, you don't argue about whether there was a designer. The only question you ask is who designed it and how long it took them. We immediately recognize the intelligence behind it. So, here's the real question, the one we need to sit with for a second. If all these human-made things so obviously require a designer and intelligence, why on earth would we look at the entire universe and assume it doesn't require one? The universe is infinitely more complex, more ordered, and more magnificent than any machine we have ever built or could ever dream of building. Just look around you. The sun rises and sets with a precision you could set your watch to for 1,000 years. The moon keeps its exact, predictable cycle, controlling the tides. The seasons follow a perfect, life-giving pattern, year after year. Gravity never takes a day off. It never forgets its duty. And let's go smaller. Every single living cell in your body and every plant, every animal, runs on a complex, coded language called DNA. It's digital information, a blueprint for life. That is not randomness. That is profound order. And order does not and has never come from chaos. Order always points back to a mind. But you'll hear people say, "Oh, it just happened." They say it with such confidence. But that's not a scientific statement, that's avoidance. Science is brilliant at explaining how things work. The mechanics of gravity, the process of cell division. But it doesn't even touch the question of why any of it exists in the first place. For something to work so consistently, there have to be laws. The laws of physics, of chemistry, of biology, and laws don't write themselves. Every law points to a lawgiver. And here's the beautiful irony. The more science advances, the more we learn, the more we discover just how impossibly precise and fine-tuned our universe is. The constants are dialed in to a degree that is just staggering. And yet, instead of looking at this overwhelming evidence and asking, who set all this up? So many people prefer to say no one did. It's just a lucky accident. Honestly, that position requires far more faith than believing in a creator.